The U.S. Air Force has deployed dozens of aerial refueling aircraft to forward positions. According to Military Watch magazine, this move has increased the likelihood of the U.S. entering the ongoing military confrontation between Israel and Iran. Sources say that the deployment of these aircraft to forward positions indicates both the possibility of the U.S. participating in potential offensive operations and increasing logistical capabilities to support its allies, especially Israel. Recall, Israel has asked the U.S. over the past 48 hours to join the war with Iran, but the U.S. is not currently considering such a move, reported Axios and the Times of Israel, citing Israeli and American officials. Iran has warned the US, UK and France that their military bases and ships will be targeted if they help block the Iranian missile and drone retaliation for Israel's attack. Recall, Israel lacks the bunker buster bombs and large bomber aircraft needed to destroy Iran's Fordo uranium enrichment site, which is built into a mountain and deep underground. The US has both within flying distance of Iran, but the Trump administration has so far distanced itself from Israel's operation and argued that it would be illegitimate for Iran to retaliate by striking US targets. Directly attacking Iran, even if the US involvement is limited to bombing a single site, would pull the US directly into the war. However, if Fordo remains operational after the operation ends, Israel will have failed in its goal to eliminate Iran's nuclear program. An Israeli official claimed to Axios that the US might join the operation and that President Trump even suggested he'd do so if necessary in a recent conversation with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. A White House official denied that. A second U.S. official confirmed that Israel has urged the Trump administration to join the war, but said currently the administration is not considering it. Now, the situation changes. U.S. Air Force have deployed dozens of aerial refueling aircraft to forward positions. It should be noted that the advance of refueling aircraft to the region is vital to ensuring long-range flights and continuous operations of U.S. warplanes. This step indicates that tensions in the region are entering a new phase and is being seen as a signal that the U.S. is openly hardening its position.
French President Emmanuel Macron viewed a glacier at Mount Nunatarsuaq on Sunday during his state visit to Greenland as part of a symbolic stop to observe firsthand the effects of climate change in the Arctic. According to Associated Press, he was joined by Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen and Greenlandic leader Jens Frederik Nielsen during the visit. The three leaders, accompanied by researchers from the Greenland Climate Research Center, walked across the glacier terrain and were briefed on the region's accelerated melting and its impact on global sea levels, officials said. The scientists presented recent data showing that ice loss in the area has doubled in the past decade. The visit followed high-level meetings held aboard the Danish frigate F-363 Niels Juel the day before, where the leaders addressed Arctic sovereignty, energy security, and geopolitical stability in the region. Macron arrived in Greenland Sunday for a state visit, carrying a message of solidarity and friendship from France and the European Union. Macron reiterated his criticism of U.S. President Donald Trump's intention to take control of the territory.
Look at the lights.
Yeah, it's really we're hunting for food and we can't hunt polar bears and owls and seals and but that's happening already.
In some areas.
In this.
have seen it like that
Yeah, me too.
since I was a kid. Yeah.
And that's actually a future scenario for nuke. That that glacier will produce a lot of ice.
Lewis.
Everybody's
That's key elements of society in Greenland. It's our culture, it's our backbone. It's the backbone.
Very dead, right? Yeah. I mean, how can...
But I thought I would not keep it.
It's going like this.
So unique.
Yeah.
I mean,
Very impressive.
so big.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stay. They wanted to go the wrong.
Kiev is preparing new operations on Russian territory as well as massive strikes, including rockets' Western production. All this will be implemented by the NATO summit in The Hague. Zelensky needs to show that it is too early to write off Ukraine. This is reported by the channel Resident with reference to a source on Bankova. Kiev is preparing a series of operations on Russian territory for the end of June, including attacks and sabotage on the railway and other critical infrastructure facilities. A massive strike will be launched at the same time drones, aircraft type and Western-made missiles. This will happen around the 20th, just before the NATO summit in The Hague from June the 24th to the 26th. Ukraine will not be discussed at the summit, although some states insist on it. Zelensky himself strongly hints that his presence in The Hague is very desirable since he has something to say to the alliance. However, he sets a condition for his invitation. It is necessary to make decisions on Ukraine, including on its membership in NATO. At the same time, Kyiv intends to demonstrate its determination to continue fighting Russia while receiving the necessary support from the alliance. A missile strike on Russian territory and new special operations are being prepared for the end of June on the eve of the NATO summit. Bankova wants to achieve a visual effect in order to gain support from Western countries and new military aid, writes the channel. Earlier, NATO Secretary-General Mark Rutte said that the promise to accept Ukraine into NATO remains in force, but this issue will not be discussed at the summit. And in general, the time has not yet come to fulfill the promises. Recall Ukraine's recent attack on Russian warplanes was audacious, innovative, and unprecedented. Ukraine's stealthy strike was carried out with small drones hidden in trucks parked near several Russian air bases. Yet Operation Spider's Web, orchestrated by the SBU intelligence service, was also part of a recurring theme. Ukraine keeps inventing new ways to wage war with drones and regularly catches Russia by surprise. The Ukrainians are the ones innovating and trying these daring and creative attacks. And then the Russians are left scrambling to figure out how to defend against it and prevent another one, said Kelly Gryko, who studies the air war at the Stimson Center think tank in Washington. Ukraine has also pioneered the use of drones in the waters of the Black Sea. Last month, a Ukrainian sea drone shot down a Russian warplane, the first time this type of attack has been recorded.